Avery Koronowski, and today I'm going to show you how to tie flies for fishing. One of my favorite flies to tie is the black flash streamer. You can catch big fish like this king salmon with the black flash streamer. We can use this small fly for trout, this medium size for largemouth bass, and this one for northern pike and striped bass. Let's gather our materials. The things that you will need are scissors, a whip finisher to tie knots, glue, string wax, tinsel, paint and a small paintbrush, thread, chenille, fly vise, a bobbin, a hackle pliers, feathers, and bucktail. Last but not least, you will need a stainless steel long shank hook. Throughout the video, you will hear me talking about the bend, the shank, the eye, the barb, and the point of the hook. The feathers that we are using are dyed rooster neck feathers, black marabou, checker, and for the white of the fly, we are using bucktail. You can also make your own color combinations and invent a fly of your own. Tying flies has a lot of steps, so let's get to it. First, clamp your hook in the vise. Now, wrap some thread around the shank near the bend, using the bobbin. Now, cut off a piece of checker feather. We've shot this checker recently. This will be the tail. Now, wrap thread around that. After you've wrapped the checker feather on to form the minnow's tail, add a drop of glue. Do this after tying each knot. Now, cut off a piece of chenille about 3 to 4 inches long. Now, wrap it with the bobbin. A helpful hint is don't break your thread, because then you're just going to have to retie a knot, but that's okay. Anyway, wrap your thread down by the eye of the hook. And let it go. Now, the chenille that you wrapped earlier, wrap it down by where you wrapped your thread. This will be the minnow's body. Now once you get close to the eye of the hook, overlap. Leave a little bit of your chenille out and wrap some thread around it so it stays on. Now, cut off the edge. Now take your green feathers to make the sides of the minnow. Okay, like that. It's a bird. Okay. Now, make one side of the minnow. Take your bobbin and make sure that's up a little bit. And take your bobbin and wrap around. You should add some string wax to keep it secure from the feathers falling out. Put that on the thread just like you would add chapstick on your lips. Now wrap close to the eye of the hook. This will soon form the head of the minnow. Now, to form the belly of the minnow, we're going to add some white bucktail. Put that on the bottom of your hook. Add some more string wax, because the bucktail tends to slip out. Now give that a couple wraps. Next, we're going to take some black marabou feathers, cut that off sort of at the stem, put that on the top to form the back of the minnow. This is why they call it the black flash. Wrap around the stem. Now let's add a drop of glue, once again, to keep it secure. Now we're going to add a little bit of tinsel. Put that on the middle, like so. And then give it a couple wraps. Maybe you should probably cut this off. I needed a bit of assistance keeping that in place, but now we should give it a couple more wraps. Okay, now cut that off at the base of the tinsel thingy. Now we're going to use a green feather with the hackle pliers. You'll see when they come in. Give the stem of the green one, just like you did with the black, a couple wraps. Okay, now you have to use the hackle pliers to wrap a long green feather wrap. Go in one straight line out of the head. Sort of looks like a lion's mane. Okay. Give it a couple more wraps. Soon this will form a nice head for your minnow. We can add a drop of glue. Now, take the hackle pliers off. We're almost done. Now, paint the head black and add a little yellow dot for the eye. Put another dot in the middle, sort of like a pupil, much like this one that we already have finished. Me, my dad, my cousin Noah, and my grandfather like to fish for trout, bass, bluegills, and even catfish with these flies. All these fish like to eat flies, bugs, and little minnows. Today, we made a black flash minnow. This type of fly is also called a streamer. When it's in the water, it looks like a real-life swimming minnow. I've caught largemouth bass with this fly, and I've caught rainbow trout with it too. I hope that after listening and watching my how-to presentation, you will want to tie flies too. Now, let's go fishing. Hope you catch a big one like some of these.
Photography by Joe Warkowski and starring Ruby Kornelski. I hope you enjoyed your video presentation today. Thank you.